Welcome to another chapter of the AedisPro tutorial series. In this chapter, we will cover the fundamentals of performing takeoffs using AedisPro. You will learn how to set the drawing scale, use the takeoff and annotation tools, and export your completed markups and measurements. Let us get started. Before we begin, let us take a moment to get familiar with the markup view. The toolbar at the top contains all the measurement and annotation tools used throughout the takeoff process. The vertical toolbar on the left provides access to the different panels within the markup view. At the top, you will find the Pages panel for navigating between markup pages. The Element Properties panel for editing selected elements. And the Viewports and Scale panel for managing drawing scales and viewports. At the bottom, you will find the measurement tree, which displays your BOQ structure and measured elements, along with the split view option for viewing two drawings side by side. Before you begin any takeoff, you must first set the drawing scale. Click the Viewports and Scale button to open the Scales panel. The default scale applies to the entire drawing. If the drawing uses a standard scale, simply select it from the Scale drop-down list. If the drawing does not use a standard scale, you can calibrate it using 2 reference points and a known distance. If a drawing contains multiple scales, you can create one or more viewports and assign a different scale to each. To create a viewport, click the Add Viewport button. Then draw a boundary around the area that uses a different scale. When a viewport is selected, the same scaling options are available, allowing you to configure its scale independently from the rest of the drawing. Now, let us take a closer look at the Element Properties panel. Whenever you create a measurement or annotation, you can use this panel to view and edit its properties. The available properties will vary depending on the measurement or annotation tool that was used. The most common properties are the description and label, which help identify the element. You can also set a count value to multiply a measurement. This is useful when the same item is repeated multiple times, such as across several floors, allowing you to measure it once and apply the required quantity. You will also find the styling options, which allow you to customize the appearance of the selected element. The available styling options will vary depending on the tool. Next is the viewport property. By default, a measurement is assigned to the page's default viewport. However, you can assign it to a different viewport if required. This allows the measurement to be calculated using the scale of the selected viewport. The collection property lets you choose which collection the measurement belongs to. Finally, the parent section property allows you to assign the measurement to a group or section within your BOQ structure. If the required section does not already exist, simply click the plus button to create it without leaving the current workflow. AedisPro provides 3 linear measurement tools. Let's look at each one in turn. The first is the Length tool. This is the standard linear measurement tool and is ideal for measuring items such as skirting, pipework, curbs, and other linear elements. Simply trace the length you want to measure. Next is the Length to Area tool. This tool is ideal for measuring vertical surface areas directly from a plan, such as walls for painting, cladding, or other finishes. To use this tool, trace the line representing the wall or edge you want to measure. Then enter the required height in the Element Properties panel, and it will calculate the total area automatically. Finally, we have the Length to Volume tool. This tool is used to calculate volumes along a measured path. It is ideal for applications such as trench excavations, strip footings, and concrete pours. Simply trace the required length, then enter the width and depth dimensions in the Element Properties panel to calculate the total volume. Next, let us look at the Area tool. This is the standard tool for measuring areas on a drawing. To create an area measurement, simply trace around the boundary of the required region. Once you have completed the outline, double-click to close the shape and complete the measurement. You can also refine an area measurement after it has been created. To add additional points, hold the Shift key and click on the edge where you want to insert a new point. A new control point will be created at that location. You can then drag the point to adjust the shape of the measurement with greater precision. You can also create cutouts to exclude voids, openings, or areas with different materials from an existing area measurement. To create a cutout, first select the required area measurement. The Cutout tool will then become available. Simply trace around the area you want to exclude. Now let us look at the Volume tool. The Volume tool works in much the same way as the Area tool, with the addition of a depth value to calculate volume. Simply trace the area you want to measure. Then enter the required depth in the Element Properties panel. It will automatically calculate the total volume based on the measured area and the specified depth. The Volume tool also includes the same editing options available with area measurements. You can add or adjust points to refine the shape and create cutouts to exclude voids or other areas that should not be included in the calculation. AedisPro provides 4 count-based measurement tools, each designed for a specific type of measurement. The Count tool is used for measuring individual items, such as electrical points, light fittings, fixtures, and similar components. Simply select the tool and click on each item you want to count. Next is the Count to Length tool. This tool is useful when each counted item represents a fixed length. After placing the count markers, enter the required length in the Element Properties panel, and the measurement will be calculated and displayed as a linear quantity. The Count to Area tool works in a similar way, but the final result is displayed as an area measurement. After placing the count markers, enter the required length and width for each item in the Element Properties panel. Finally, the Count to Volume tool allows you to calculate volumes from counted items. After placing the count markers, enter the required length, width, and depth values. It will then calculate and display the total volume in cubic units. Now, let us look at the annotation tools. The first is the Dimension tool. This tool allows you to display dimensions directly on the drawing using the default page scale. It is particularly useful for verifying scale accuracy or displaying reference dimensions that should not be included in the BOQ. Next is the Note tool. This tool lets you place a text box anywhere on the drawing to add notes or additional information. The Callout tool works in a similar way, but includes a leader line that points to a specific location on the drawing. The text box and the leader can be adjusted independently to suit your layout. The Cloud tool is used to highlight areas that require attention or review. Finally, we have the Legend tool. The Legend automatically generates a mini BOQ containing only the measurements from the current drawing. You can also enter a description to use as the heading of the legend. The legend provides several display settings. The Show Label Column option displays the labels assigned to your measurements. The Show Property Values option displays additional measurement properties. Once you have completed your markups, you can export them as PNG images or a PDF. There are two ways to export your markups. The first option is to use the Export Markup action from the Markup menu. At the time of recording, this option supports PNG export only. The second option is to click the Export button, which opens the Export Markups dialog. From here, select the export format you require. If you choose PNG, all markups will be exported as individual images in a zip file. If you choose PDF, all markups will be combined into a single PDF document and exported. That concludes this chapter on the fundamentals of takeoffs in AedisPro. In this chapter, you learned how to set drawing scales, use the available measurement and annotation tools, and export your completed markups. You should now have a solid understanding of the core takeoff workflow and be ready to start measuring with confidence. Thanks for watching. See you in another AedisPro tutorial.